Hello, good evening. I'm Earl Gibbs, and welcome to Speaking of Everything. With me this evening, it's quite interesting because it was 1984, just a few weeks after I first started this program. I had someone in the same capacity on this program. Imagine 1984 this time. Now we fast forward to 2016, and my guest this evening for the first time on Speaking of Everything is the General Director for the Milton Peters College and the Sundial School, Mr. Visser. How are you doing, sir?
Fine, thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for accepting the invitation.
Nice.
So how long have you been now at the Milton Peters College?
At the moment, this is my fourth year at the MPC and Sundial School, so almost 3.5 years being on the island, country St. Martin.
I get the impression that you really enjoy it.
Yeah, very much. Yeah. Thank you for the observation. Yeah, really, it's really nice to work in a different environment that I used to work, but it's also great to help improve on education and work together with a lovely bunch of staff, colleagues, and students, of course.
So, did it meet your expectations when you first came to St. Martin?
Well, to be honest, even beyond my expectation, because I heard about the rumors about the hectic life at MPC in the past, and I think we gradually changed this image of the school. I think it's a great school. Both are great schools, and so I'm really looking forward for the forthcoming period.
I gotta ask you this: weren't you concerned when you heard about the history of the Milton Peters College before you came to St. Martin?
No, I was not concerned. I think it was really good to know about the history of MPC, but also to hear about the great history of Milton Peters College, because some great people of St. Martin were former students of MPC and Sundial. To me, it's always a challenge, and also a thing I would like to achieve to improve on the educational aspects. This is what I did in the Netherlands before, so I think it's an honor. It's not a challenge in a way that I was very fearful of it. I was looking really even forward to make some change and to be of added value to the school.
The reason I asked that question is that, I was born here and lived here most of my life and went to America to study later on. And I've heard and seen quite some big fights at Milton Peters College. And when my first daughter was getting ready to go to high school, a lot of people said to me, "Aren't you concerned?" And I said, "No, she went there. She's a graduate now, went on to Holland, studying, graduated in the University of Leiden. My second daughter went there. My third daughter went there, graduated last year. They all went there and are doing well. It's a great school, but you don't hear about the good things. All you hear about often are just the bad things."
Yeah, that's also big because what the media makes of it. And but if you look at the numerous students that did very well, and I think this is more than 95% that doing very well and also be very successful afterwards, both in education and in work. I think we need to emphasize more on the positive aspects of education, because we can be very proud of having a lot of different schools in St. Martin, amongst others Milton Peters College and Sundial School. And I think it's really a privilege for the country and its people that they have a choice to choose what kind of school they want to select for their children. And well, we are a kind of unique school because we offer academic education, whereas Dutch is the language of instruction. So I think it's important to be multilingual. It's important to have a command of the Dutch language, as it's still part of the country and its future. We are a big school. We have about 900 students at MPC, about 350 at Sundial School, which seems to be rather big, but if you look at the whole organization, it's a rather small school because we are a comprehensive school. We offer academic education, but besides that also pre-vocational education. We train our students to become good laborers, good people for the job market in St. Martin. So I think the complexity and the diversity makes it a really great school to enter. And as a big school, you have also a lot of more opportunities, thinking about digital development in education, all the devices and equipment that is needed for good education, we can offer to our students.
And you have a number of schools at the Milton Peters College, Vario and the others. Can you just describe them?
Yeah, for the academic departments, we have the VWO, VWO, as it's called, Voorbereidend Wetenschappelijk Onderwijs. So as the word says, it prepares for a university level. It's a 6-year program, which is highly recognized worldwide. Then we have the HAVO, which is higher professional education. It prepares for the HBO institutes in the Netherlands, but also for university bachelor programs wherever in the world. That's more the academic department. And then besides that, we have the PSVE, the VSBO as it's called in Dutch, which is preparatory to vocational education. So the TKL is more the theoretical department. And the PKL and PBL, these abbreviations stand for Kader and Basis, that prepares for the job market. And most of our students would go to an institute like the NIPA, SBO education.
The students that took part in building Purple Heart, the Kids Foundation, what stream did they come from?
So these students, they are part of the construction department at the PKL, PBL level. And when I came to St. Martin, everything at the PKL, PBL level was according to a kind of curriculum, but it was very much emphasizes on theoretical education. And we decided to make a change into this kind of program, more project-based education instead of doing every day the same thing over and over again. So when we had the opportunity by Kids at Sea Foundation to build a boat, which comprises of all the skills we want to teach our students, that was a wonderful opportunity. And well, as everybody knows, we started building 2 small boats called the Scary. But then after 2 years, even the teachers were so enthusiastic and they said, well, let's build a bigger boat. And this is how it ends up. After 1 year building a boat, it sailed on the Heineken Regatta. And what makes the students mostly proud is that it actually sailed and that everybody was fully impressed by young people building a boat like this. Yeah. And for sure, these kids, they know what skills they had to use. And I think if they have any ambition, they can realize it. It makes them feel proud. It makes them feel recognized by the community, by the school, and also by other students from different departments. But because what was so nice is that students from even the academic departments came to see the boat being built. So instead of being the lowest academic department, it makes them feel we're the ones that care and we're the ones that count.
I saw a lot of pride among the students when I was over there for the boat.
That's wonderful.
And I also noticed that also the teachers were also proud of the boat.
Yeah, everybody wants to be part of that, and even for next year we have plans to build a boat again, and then also get other students from different departments joining this group. So it's a joint effort, and it's not only the teachers, it's also the teaching support staff, everybody at MPC that feels really proud of working on such a project. But it's not the only project we're working on. I think we tend to forget that at Sundial we have the hospitality sector offering excellent lunches every Thursday. At Care and Wellness, we do a lot of projects with the elderly people. So it's not only one department, one group of students. We emphasize a lot of project-based education. We want to participate with the work of the foundations in St. Martin. We participate in the Teen Times Awards. On every level we want to participate, not to show off, but to learn, which is really important.
So at the Sundial School, every Thursday they have a restaurant that's open for lunch for anyone?
Yeah, well, of course you need to make a reservation, because they need to prepare the lunches, but This is something where the students also feel very proud of preparing the dinner, the lunch for the people that come to visit. And most of the time, people from the government, from companies in town, they come to have their lunch. And this is what the intention is, learning by doing.
And you also mentioned care and wellness. What's that?
Care and wellness is a very, what we call a broad sector to prepare students for, let's say, nursery, for beauty care, but also to do some service in a restaurant or whatsoever. It's very broad. It's about, I think, care and wellness and hospitalities are sectors that St. Martin needs.
Right.
Because we have a busy community based on tourism. We need to serve to the people, the guests that come to the island to enjoy a wonderful vacation. And if we could prepare our students to serve these people on high quality, they could earn a good living. And the job market is open to them. So that's really important.
Beginning in August of this year, 2016, I understand that there will be an English stream now at the Milton Peters College?
Yeah, that's true. We are preparing the CXC program on the academic level. The reason for it is that up to now we only offer Dutch as language of instruction at the academic level, but we see a lot of people interested in choosing Milton Peters College, but not have the opportunity to attend the Dutch departments, right, as they are raised in English-speaking primary schools. So we decided also to give these parents and their children an option to enter Milton Peters College. We will start with 2 classes in August, offering the CXC programs. It was a bit complicated to go into detail, but it will be about a 5-year program, and similar to what we call TKL and HAVO. And it's a great opportunity because it's Caribbean-based, and we will stay and stick within the country St. Martin law for education. Yeah. You could compare it a bit to Academy and St. Dominic High School that offer similar programs, but we want to offer our own profile and add our own profile to this. So explicitly, we will try to offer as much as possible digital education, working a lot with tablets and computers instead of the old-fashioned school books. So we want to have our own profile, which fit into our ambition as a school for the future.
Now, you said this will be for a 5-year period, right? The program for students entering 5 years.
Yeah.
Now, once you graduate at the end of the 5 years, can you study in the US and the Caribbean with that degree?
With that degree, you can study everywhere in the world. Because one of the things we add to the program is Dutch as a compulsory subject.
Oh, okay.
And at the end of the 5-year program, the students can do get a Dutch certificate, a Cambridge exam, which made it possible for these students even to go to the Netherlands for study. Well, actually, at the moment, a lot of higher professional institutes and universities already offer English as language of instruction in the Netherlands, so that wouldn't be a problem. But in addition, we're talking about also offering a possibility to offer an HAVO English diploma.
Okay.
So with that, it's not only possible for studying in the region and in the United States, for instance, but also in the Netherlands.
Once this program is running and up and going, say a few years from now, do you think that the VWO will disappear?
No, for sure not.
Okay.
I would like to emphasize that the mission of Milton Peters College and Sundial School is to keep Dutch as language of instruction in the academic departments, because we know a lot of parents in St. Martin and their children wants to graduate in these kind of departments which has Dutch as language of instruction.
And they should be given a choice between.
They should have a choice, and we want to be open for parents from children that attending English-speaking primary schools. And we see a lot of parents coming to Milton Peters College and asking if they could join HAVO-VWO or TKL, but then it's really hard sometimes for them to learn the Dutch language. So via this CXC program, we have an English program with a lot of emphasis on Dutch as a foreign language. So gradually they will get to a level also for Dutch that they will be able to enter Dutch universities or higher professional institutes.
The reason I ask that question too is because sometimes you see a director that is very involved and active and making sure things happen. And once that person is no longer there, then everything seems to go back probably to the old way, and there's no continuity. And sometimes that can be a problem here in St. Martin.
True. That's why my intention is not to leave, first of all. Secondly, it's not about me. I want to make it fully clear that it's all about our students, and that my colleagues, my management team, but also my staff, but most importantly, Svobe School Board, which is representing MPC in Sundaal, made a decision to offer, besides Dutch education, also English education. So whoever comes after me needs to continue on the same track. We need to establish a sustainable way of educating people, not for 2016, but also for 2026 and even after.
You know, there was a time when the VWO was so huge that it had 2 classes.
Yeah.
And then it was down to, my second daughter, when she was there, it was down in a class that had, I think, 6 or 7 students.
Wow.
And it was quite a concern. How is it today?
At the moment, we have about 15 to 20 students per year at the VWO, so it's a bit growing. Of course, it will always remain a concern about finance, but I think most importantly is the quality of the educational program we are offering. And with having the CXC program, with, I assume, a lot of new students coming all together, we can maintain the Dutch academic program HAVO-VWO. And it's not only about the finance, it's also our obligation towards the community, to the society and country St. Martin, to maintain Dutch as language of instruction. As of course we all know that the laws in Dutch, we need to have good lawyers, good judges, and a good command of Dutch is necessary. So it's not a choice of the school, but yes or no Dutch education. It's an obligation to country St. Martin.
When, you know, in the Netherlands, you have VWO, and I understand that they have more subjects for students than St. Martin. Is that correct?
No. Even in the Netherlands, schools need to budget their program, and they limit the number of subjects. I think we offer what is needed for us and for the students. We have the profiles, and according to the profiles, we have the subjects. I think with every profile the student is choosing, he or she can do every study in the Netherlands, whether it's more science-related or social studies or language, it doesn't matter.
Okay. And I know sometimes that there are questions from Dutch universities towards our students from St. Martin that, hey, this is a foreign diploma that you're coming with. And it's quite, I think for young people, it's disturbing that you're made to believe that you're part of a kingdom, and then you travel across the Atlantic, you enter university, and then they're saying, you know, well, first of all, you're not Dutch, you're not European, you're not white, you're a foreigner, and at the same time your diploma is, well, it's a foreign diploma. That shock is a kind of a shock to a lot of students at times, especially at small Dutch universities.
Yeah, to be honest, I think it's a shame when a Dutch university is saying something like this. Our diplomas are fully recognized by the Dutch Ministry of Education. We have the same exams as the Dutch students have at the same time.
Right.
So there is no difference. We have the inspectorate in St. Martin that is keeping an eye on the quality of education, which I think is really good. But I would like to change the perspective a bit. I would say St. Martin students are better off with their VWO diploma because their command of English is excellent. They speak more often different languages like Spanish or French.
Right.
And at the moment, at Dutch universities, about 40% of the students come from different countries in the world. So we can be very proud of our participation in Dutch education. So if a student from St. Martin is going to the Netherlands, he can be very proud of his descent. He can be very proud of the diversity of the country and of the quality of his diploma.
And the thing is that what I find strange is that it seems like in the Netherlands, there's very little history or geography about the Dutch Caribbean.
Yeah.
I'm still, because when I went to school here, I had to know everything about Holland. And I'm still surprised that in 2016 that you have young people in Holland that they're not aware of a island called St. Martin.
Well, let's start with a confession. I used to be a history teacher. I had a master's degree in history. And I had to do a lot of reading to keep up with the history of the Caribbean. And I read a lot of books on Caribbean history. And even last week we had a lecture from Miss Dana Sprott, and she's doing a PhD on St. Martin history. And we had about 60 students that were fully engaged listening to a lecture and had a lot of questions. So I think this is something we need to tell the people in the Netherlands, that the Caribbean history and its geography is really amazing, and it's also fully entangled with Dutch history.
I know, I mean, when I went to school, I knew every province in Holland.
Yeah, okay.
The Milton Peters College has come a long way. I'm not hearing any big fights like I used to hear many years ago. What are you doing special now?
I don't think so. It's something special. It's about care for the students. Put the students in the center position. Instead of focusing on the teacher, we should focus on the students. Recognize its talent, recognize its autonomy in learning, offer modern education, and show what kind of great possibilities these students have after graduating. And of course, maybe it's a tendency, a sign of the times about 10 years ago. I'm not saying that we will never have these incidents again, but we're fully in communication with our students. We have our own security officers that are engaged with our students. We have a care policy plan with a mentor that has every week a mentor hour speaking to the students. We have social workers. So we have a lot of people that really care. And if you care, people respect. And I think that's the basic.
Yeah, I think too often the school was taking a beating, and even teachers there were criticized by parents. But I think teachers there, they do a lot. It's very tough to deal with the school the size of the Milton Peters College with over 800 students. At one time, I think it was, what, close to 1,000 students at one time.
Yeah, it's true, but education is a wonderful job. Teaching, to share the knowledge and the insight and the skills, it's wonderful. If you are able to communicate with the students, then it's easy. It's not always that easy, especially with young kids coming from primary school, but first start with a good class management. Get in touch with the students, have trust in the students, and then the students will trust you.
Do you have any wish list for the Milton Peters College and Sundial School?
My wish list starts with realizing up-to-date modern education, which has a lot of digital possibilities. My wish list should be, for instance, have free internet speed at the schools, not only in my school, but also in all the schools in St. Martin. This is the basic element for the future learning.
Right.
We need to get rid of the old-fashioned school books because we have an open source called the internet for learning. So that would be one of my first wishes to realize. Another one would be to modernize the schools. There's a backlog in maintenance, and I think in a good school, maintaining well, students will maintain well and behave well. So that will be my second wish. And my third wish would be that in the near future, together with a lot of stakeholders, we could have Sundial School be placed somewhere else where it's more quiet, out of the busy Philipsburg, in a more peaceful and quiet learning environment.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Visser, I want to thank you for coming and being my guest this evening. Any final word for, say, parents and students at the Milton Peters College and Sundial School?
Oh, I just want to say to the parents and the students that I'm very proud of you, students of Milton Peters College and Sundial. I'm proud of the parents that are actively involved in the school. And I wish St. Martin a bright future with good education.
All right. Again, thank you very much, sir, and much success.
Thank you so much.
And that's it for now. See you next time right here on Speaking of Earthing. Until then, good night. Take care. Bye.